Ba-bam! Welcome to the Edward Show. This morning I had a conversation with a VC, with an investor. Her name is Dara with Elephant VC. I'm going to put her on the spot because she said something that I like. Look, normally I don't give praise to venture capital firms, but I'm going to do it this time because Elephant sounds pretty cool. Here's why I like this VC. The reason why I like this venture capital firm is because they invest in companies that are either bootstrapped, so they have built the company themselves without outside funding, or they've taken a small amount of angel funding, but that is it. And then what she said, I really, really appreciated this. And they write big check sizes. So they write $10 million checks. They write $10 million checks. So these companies have to be established. These have to be smart founders who are smart with their marketing, founders who are smart with their money. And I appreciate that. But then she said to me, she's like, we like, it was something, I don't want to completely wreck what she said, but it was something along the lines of, we don't like founders who just there's this like conventional wisdom with startups that they take their investor money and pour it just into Facebook ads and Google ads. And we're not really about that. We want companies that understand organic inbound and evergreen content, or super cheap outbound, or product market fit, just like, being smart with their money. It was something along those lines. But I really respected that. The fact that she called out the startups that just pour their money into Google ads and Facebook ads rather than having long-lasting systems I really like that, because let me tell you why I like that. Because on this episode of the Edward Show, I'm going to be talking about long-lasting systems. Specifically, I'm going to be talking about one of my favorite tools for search engine optimization. Yesterday, I recorded an episode about how I outranked the New York Times within 5 minutes of posting an article while living in Kiev, Ukraine. That was a good episode. I'm living in Kiev, Ukraine at the time. I put up an article and I rank number 1 on Google above the New York Times within 5 minutes of publishing the article. I talk actually a good amount about how I did that. But I don't say one of the tools that really, really helped me learning search engine optimization. And I'm going to say that in this episode. So that tool is, drumroll, that tool is Moz's on-page grader tool. I would so highly recommend this tool. I use Moz. Moz probably is not the best SEO tool overall, but it has some key features that I think make it better than other tools. Like, you might not want to use Moz for its keyword data. I personally think its keyword data is fine. I also have access to BrightEdge, which is like this crazy expensive enterprise SEO tool. That has like the best data, but those are enterprise prices. Companies pay thousands of dollars a month for that. Moz, it's a prosumer tool. So you could use Moz, you could use Ahrefs, you could use SEMrush. People use all these different tools, but it's Moz's on-page grader that makes it stand out for me. I love this tool, and the reason why is because this tool teaches you how to craft a page that properly targets a keyword. Here's what I learned. Most people don't properly know how to target a keyword with a page while doing search engine optimization. And it's really easy. If you have a blog, if you make content, this is the type of thing that you can learn and then have it benefit you for years. That's why I like it. You can write something, run it through Moz's on-page grader. It will tell you how to optimize that page for a keyword. You can find keywords using any keyword tool that you want. Of course, a keyword is just whatever you write into Google. You can find keywords using whichever keyword tool that you want. And then this tool will tell you how to change the page so that you fully target that keyword. And once I started using this tool, I don't have any sponsorship with Moz, by the way. I would love one because I like this company. I like their software. They make great SEO software, and I've been using them for years and years. But it was this specific tool, the on-page grader. When I started using it, I started ranking number 1 on Google very consistently. Very, very, very consistently when I started using this tool. I'm going to give you the gist of what the tool taught me, but I would totally recommend it for anybody else who's not like a search engine optimization expert. Basically, it taught me where to use the keyword and how to avoid keyword stuffing, which means using the keyword too many times to the extent that it looks spammy. That's what keyword stuffing is. So it says, I will write a piece of content and it'll say, it gives you a score out of 100 on how well you target a keyword. Common mistakes are not putting the keyword in the URL, or not putting it in the page title or the meta description or in the first sentence or in the first alt description for the first image, in the alt description for the first image. And then a lot of people, they'll keyword stuff, or maybe the content will be too thin, and it will tell you all of this stuff and it will explain why this is important too. When I started trying to really target keywords and be super specific and strategic with my search engine optimization efforts, this tool helped me a ton. And that's why I want to give it a shout out on this episode. The other reason why I want to give it a shout out is because for my most recent newsletter, my growth hacking newsletter, that's edwardsturm.com/newsletter. For my most recent newsletter, I got a lot of feedback saying, hey, this was a really good one. A lot of people said my most recent newsletter, they come out every Sunday, and a lot of people said it was a really good one. But the funny thing is, when I published it, I thought it was one of my worst ones. I thought it was too simple. I thought the newsletter was too simple. And then I showed it to somebody and I asked them, why do you think I received so many comments saying this newsletter was good? And he said it was because I recommend specific tools in that newsletter. And I realized, actually giving specific tools that are helpful, I can see why people would appreciate that. And one of the tools that I recommend in that issue of my newsletter is this tool, Moz's on-page greeter, but I just give it a shout out. I don't say how to use it. So in this episode, I say how to use it. And it's so easy. Like, you just put in a page. You can use it within the Moz bar, which is a Chrome extension, or you can use it on their website and you just put in a page URL and then you say the keyword that you're trying to target, and then it tells you what to do. And that's it. That's how you use it. You might even be able to use it with the free tier. I'm not sure because I pay for it. But like, if you don't really know how to do SEO and you want to know how to do SEO, you want to know how to do on-page SEO for your website and target keywords, this is it. And I'll tell you this, even if you are not great at like getting backlinks to your website, if you make a few pages that target specific keywords and then leave those pages up, eventually they will start ranking because Google likes content that has been up for a while. It's not always the case, but the age of a page and the age of a website is a positive ranking factor for Google. So that's what I wanted to share on today's episode. It's one of my favorite SEO tools, the on-page greeter tool. Shout out to Elephant VC for the very pleasant call this morning. I like what you guys are about. I like investing in smart and savvy founders. I appreciate that. That's what the Edward Show is about. It's about being smart and savvy. It's about being smart and savvy up in here. All right. Thank you so much for listening. I have some nice coffee. The sun is setting. The sun is setting in New York. The sun is setting in New York. I got a podcast to edit. I will talk to all of you again tomorrow. Bye now.